Don't forget to keep checking out the links down in the description to help out any of the vulnerable communities listed down below, and I hope that this month you were as happy and as safe as you could have been, and you are in the months going forward, because Pride does not end in June, it's just the month that we get recognized the most, you know? Hello Friendzies, welcome back to my channel. I hope today, first and foremost, welcome to the last video of Pride. Just because Pride ends doesn't mean we stop being gay, but this is the last video of the official month of Pride, so I just want to say happy Pride one more time to everybody here, and also a huge apology to my lesbian and trans Friendzies, because I did your flag so dirty on my brows. I did not know how I was going to do it. The bis, the non-binaries, and now specifically the gays got the rep in my eyebrows that they deserve. Everybody else, I am so sorry. I fucked those flags up. But I've learned, and hopefully next year, or in the future, just in general, when I do Pride looks, I will do a lot better. Anyway, I thought for the last video of Pride, I would just talk about, like, being gay, being a bisexual, what it's like in the queer community for me specifically. I don't know, I have, like, I was gonna say fun experiences, like, not really experiences, just like my daily life. I just want to talk about being gay. I just want to talk about, like, I don't know, I just wanted to talk at the camera about being gay, I guess. And I wanted to talk about one thing specifically that happened to me at this point last week at work. So I was at work and I'm doing something, right? And I work in the clothing department at my store. I work in retail. And I'm over here doing something, and there was, like, I had, like, a vehicle with me, and maybe, like, this wide of a space between my thing and, like, the wall. And I'm just working away, and one of the prettiest girls I've ever seen in my entire life, and I'm not joking, walked up to me, and I just hear, "Oh, excuse me," and I look up, and I double mask at work. I've said this before. I double mask at work, so all you can see is, like, my eyes hidden under my bushy forward pulled brows and my big ass forehead, because I always wear my hair back at work. That's all you can see. And this beautiful girl walks up to me and goes, "Oh, excuse me," and I looked up and just went, because under my mask I was like, winded immediately as soon as she walked up to me. I love women. She just wanted to know if we had, like, a certain shoe in stock, and I, one, didn't really feel like going to the back anyway, but two, I knew that we didn't, because at my work we get a lot of freight, so we are kind of, like, very much well versed in trying to pull absolutely everything we can out of the back room when it comes in, and especially the person who works specifically in shoes. I knew that she had been, like, working all day to get stuff out of the back. So I'm looking at this girl and I'm winded. Like, I can feel an asthma attack coming on. And I was like, yeah, sorry, I think everything we have out on the floor is all that we have. And the whole time I'm just, like, staring into her eyes. And the whole time she's talking to me, very, very, like, soft feminine. Like, beautiful fit. Like, she had, like, her hair, not in, like, a messy bun, but, like, kind of tied back. And it was, like, more of, like, a windswept style. I will wax poetic about this girl, I swear to God. And she had, like little wispies kind of hanging down, very, like, very pretty eyes. And she just, like, her eyes were just staring into mine the entire time. Very soft smile, very, like, soft feminine voice. I'm so weak. And I was like, yeah, I think everything that we had in the back room is, like, pulled out onto the floor. And she's like, "Oh, that's okay." Like, looking at me like that, and I was like, okay. And then she was telling me how she usually wears a different shoe size, and that size is about, like, 2 sizes too big, or too small. But they kind of fit comfortably, like, she's not really sure. And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I get that." And she's like, "I think I'll just hold on to them and, like, walk around and make a decision." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that's how she looked at me. And she was like, "Okay." And then she walked away. And I died, and as soon as she, like, had walked away far enough and I realized she had gone around a corner, I sprinted to one of my friends and was like, "I can't fucking breathe. I just met a beautiful woman." And then I went up to another one of my coworkers who was also queer, later in the day, and I was like, you're gonna appreciate this so much. I have a story to tell you. So I told her the story, and she was like, Heather, it's like you were blessed by an angel. And I was like, I know. And I have not stopped thinking about it since. I think I wanted to talk about that specifically because when I told my mom about it in the car, I was like wounded. I was like on the drive home, I was like leaning back in my seat and I was like, she was so pretty, because I'd had a really shitty day at work and she had like just absolutely boosted my day. So my mom was like, kept looking at me as she's driving. She's like, because my mom's seen me like be obsessed with people and have crushes on people, but I don't think I've ever necessarily reacted that way to like a beautiful human being. And she was like, damn, you really are gay, huh? And it was also funny because my mom has known that like I'm bisexual for like forever. Like ever since I came out. I've told the story a million times before. My mom was the first person I came out to in the middle of an argument to avoid being grounded. So she's known. But like I said, I don't think she's ever heard me kind of talk about somebody like that. So she was like, what, Heather, what exactly are you attracted to? Like I get that you're gay, but like what exactly are you attracted to? And I really just was like, fuck, I don't know, man, everyone? Because the thing is, sexuality is fluid and changes. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's different for everybody. But when I was younger, I've always known like what I've liked. I've talked about this before too. I've always known like what I've liked, what I've been into in relation to like other people. But learning the word bisexual when I was like 12, 13 on the internet, I was like, oh cool, I finally have a word for it because I read about it. That sounded correct. And I was like, neat. So, you know, always called myself bisexual, but I have talked about how I kind of feel a little more comfortable with referring to myself as queer sometimes because my attraction to men and people who identify like as male has like changed over the years. Like I'm not sure on that front. So bisexual because I love the flag, queer because sometimes it fits a little better. I think technically if we're going strictly by like dictionary definition, which nobody in the queer community really does even when they do, I guess technically I would be pansexual because I really don't give a fuck about what's going on gender-wise, biology-wise. If you're hot, you're hot. You know what I mean? I prefer bisexual though because our flag is cuter. I'm sorry, pansexuals, but you guys picked an ugly flag. Or you picked the wrong, like, hues of those colors. I think it could be a lot cuter if we changed, like, the brightness and the saturation in some of those colors. Okay? Okay. And the thing is, that's just it. It's never mattered to me who I've dated. I have dated cishet men. I've dated non-binary people. I've dated trans men. I have dated women. I don't believe I've dated a trans woman. I could have, and they could have been closeted, and I didn't know, obviously, which that's none of my business unless they felt comfortable telling me. But, you know what I mean? I've kind of dated a little bit of everybody, and I don't care. I don't care as long as you're hot. For, like, specific physical attractions, like when I thirst follow somebody on, like, TikTok or Instagram, very, like, strong, sharp jawline, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that. Very nice hair. I love fluffy hair. Something just does that for me. Really nice teeth. Don't ask me why. I like when somebody smiles and their teeth just like look pretty. But also teeth are not a deal breaker. You know, like if you necessarily have like bad teeth, quote unquote, it doesn't matter to me. I'll still probably think you're hot. And hands. I have a thing for hands. Like when a lot of like trans masc and non-binary people on TikTok put like gender envy, but it like makes less and less sense to cis people, and every like picture of hands that they put in, sexy. Very sexy. I was telling my mom the other day, I have that new book that came out, The Hell Has Followed With Us, and I was holding it in my hands, and it has like, if you haven't seen it, it's a very beautiful aesthetic like book cover, and the colors are incredible. I was holding it and my nails are a little bit longer, and I love when my nails are a little bit longer because I like the way they make my hands look. So I was holding it, showing it to my mom, and I was like, I think I was always doomed because I find hands very attractive, and I also just love books, so I knew I would never be able to like ever stop buying books. Because I love when people, like, hold it on, like, Book Talk or BookTube, and they, like, talk about it because I'm looking at your hands and the book cover, and I'm so into it. Also, any young queers out there, just so you guys know, if some of you are going from dating like cishet men and then going into like dating non-binary people, trans men, whatever, just so you know, fuckboy is not exclusive to cishet men. Fuckboy is a state of mind. I dated a fuckboy. Cannot. And they weren't cis. I dated a non-cis fuckboy, and it was... it's a state of mind. Literally, like a year ago. It was like a year ago at this point, but I can't get over it. It wasn't even dating. We had like a flirtation. I'm airing out all your dirty laundry if you're watching this. So sorry, I won't name names. We weren't even dating. It was like a flirtation, and it was very brief, and it should have been briefer. But like a year ago at this point, I had shared some shit on Facebook, because the only reason now I have Facebook is to like get in easy contact with my mom if I can't text her, and to share political memes that like weird people... I don't even necessarily have like conservative relatives, but I have weird relatives, so I share shit on Facebook to make sure that they know exactly not to talk to me. And I posted something, and the fuckboy DM'd me for the first time in like several years at 12:38 a.m. because you can like check the timestamp. 12:38 a.m. and they just said, "Hey, I really like what you posted the other day. Really good." Or no, sorry. They were like, they had said in the message at 12:38 a.m. they were like, "Hey, I know it's been a while since we talked, and I'm sorry I'm liking all your posts, but I just really like what you have to post lately." I am a night owl. I am somebody who suffers from insomnia. I am somebody who cannot sleep. I would never send that kind of message. Never! So yeah, fuckboy is a state of mind. It is not exclusive to cishets. I promise you. And you cannot escape it. If that's like part of the reason how you realized you were queer, it's not gonna stop. Just because you're veering off of that, I promise you. Fuckboy is a state of mind. It defies all gender. And I don't know. I like being queer. And I love being with, like, people that are also queer. Like, the last person I went on a date on, I talked about this in a couple other videos. Other than just, like, really being into that person, and being very attracted to them and having, like, at the time that we went on the date, I thought it was very good vibes, but I also just felt very safe with them. Felt very safe and comfortable with them, which may have been, like, I don't know, that somebody being queer doesn't guarantee that they're safe. Like, it doesn't guarantee that they're not, like, a creep or an awful, you know what I mean? Like, people can still be terrible no matter what gender expression or gender they are or use, but I felt very comfortable with them. And it's really funny because I talked about last year's video for Pride that I made where I talk about questioning my sexuality for what, like 19 minutes. I talk about how in the past it was only cishet men that I have kissed when I was younger, and I always felt really uncomfortable afterwards. And as I'm getting older, I'm still trying to defy whether or not it is like a sexual attraction thing or like a societal conditioning thing, you know what I mean? Like toxic masculinity, all that. Because the last person I went on a date with, I had mentioned, was non-binary, and I felt very comfortable with them the entire time. Like, not only was I like very attracted to them and was like, felt, you know, like a connection, but I was very comfortable with them the entire time. And I was never comfortable fully with the cishet boy I dated in high school. And I was never comfortable fully with the little like flirtations I had before him as well. So that's, and it's like, it's interesting. It's interesting how you discover more about yourself as you get older, because I feel like when I was younger and I was queer, because I was one of the only like queer kids that was out, and I didn't necessarily like announce it to everybody, but like my friend group knew, and like when I first came out, it was like my entire personality. And as I got a little older, there's nothing wrong with it if it is, you know, live your life. As I got older, it kind of became less about my personality, but like it wasn't a secret. People didn't necessarily know, but like I wasn't quiet about the fact that I was bisexual. I wasn't overly loud about it, but I wasn't quiet about it either. And now as I'm getting older, I'm just like learning more about my own sexuality, my own attractions, my own preferences. And it's kind of cool. It's kind of neat because that person, I've never actually gone on, actually that's a lie. I have only gone on about 2 dates with people I met on dating apps when I was using them. One of them was somebody that I'm very good friends with now, and I felt very comfortable with that because they are a feminine presenting person. And also my mom was my ride, and it was a ride out of town, so I knew my mom was there anyway. That's what being gay is. But the person I went on the date with last year was the other person I went on a date with, and I felt fine because they were comfortable coming to like a place in my town where I know the area, I know, you know, safe places essentially I could go if for whatever reason it didn't go right or I felt like I was in danger. They were comfortable coming to my town. They asked if I needed a ride or offered a ride if I was comfortable with that, and if not, that was totally fine. When I told them that I didn't want a ride there, like they couldn't pick me up at my home, but you know, like they couldn't pick me up at my home and bring me there, but if throughout the date I felt comfortable that I would let them drive me home, they were entirely comfortable with that, and we sat at my house for several hours after the date and like talked and sat on my front porch. I did not invite them in, and they were completely fine with that, but I, you know, obviously offered them water if they needed to use the bathroom, blah, 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 but I didn't like invite them into like the living room or anything like that. We sat on the front porch and we talked for a couple hours, and they very much knew where I lived, but I was comfortable with that. I don't know. I wanted to talk about being gay. I think it's fun. It's the end of Pride Month. I didn't have any other plans. I was gonna like do an eyebrow tutorial for the eyebrows, but like we've already seen the eyebrows. We've already done a makeup tutorial, and not tutorial, but like how I do my face. And there is gonna be a makeup related video in a couple months, and I don't know. I didn't know what else to do. I wanted to tell the story of the very beautiful girl that showed up at my job because, I have not stopped thinking about it. She was genuinely angelic, and I am sweating about it. But like I said, I hope you guys had the happiest and safest Pride Month that you could have. I know the world is very much dangerous right now, and queer people and people with uteruses are in danger. We're very much in danger, but in between the fighting and the resisting, and like the protesting and rebelling, which is absolutely what we need to do, I hope you still have time to take a breather and have enjoyment and be with the ones you love and be with your chosen family, because that's what we're still humans. We still need a break in between, and we still need to treat ourselves gently. So I hope you were able to do that this Pride Month. I hope you were able to celebrate as best you could. We're gonna move on to Rage next. We get 1 month of Pride and the other 11 months of just pure rage, and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna fight, and we're gonna beat some ass, because that's what we need to do. But every once in a while, take some time to take care of yourself. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Just slide that right in. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Maybe subscribe if you want to, because I had this whole month of queer videos, and I have a lot of other fun videos planned in the future, and if you want to see those, subscribing will help you see them faster. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye! And one more time until 2023. Happy Pride!